like nobody should be doing that. We shouldn't be in a society where you get so mad over a policy position that you're willing to hurt somebody. And that kind of brings us to this Ilhan Omar situation, right? Everybody's saying it's staged.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. She looks at him, kind of nods, but she's kind of nodding anyway. And this guy gets up and sprays her, and she doesn't really react. Now, I don't know if anybody knows this, but I used to work with Tommy Robinson. I was helping with his MEP campaign, and he was the first person to ever get milkshaked. And over in the UK, they put acid in there. They put hot boiling water with sugar in it to like melt your skin off. You don't know what kind of substance this is. And at first, I'm like, you could see her hands were kind of shaking. But I thought she handled it like she kind of was aggressive about it. And you know me, I like that. Like, if, I wouldn't want I would want to fight the person that just threw something on me too. So I kind of had a little respect for her there. But now everybody's saying that it's, it looks staged or whatever. I don't even want to go there. I want to get your opinion. I don't even want to go there because I think that, like, I worked for a member of Congress too that was, on the congressional baseball team when they shot it up and Scalise was hit and all that. And it was a very terrifying experience knowing like somebody I really cared about, my boss, was, vulnerable to that. So I don't like any of this. So I don't even want to downplay it. I think we should try to cool it a little bit with this kind of stuff. Like, I don't want to I know that they would celebrate it for us. I mean, we've seen that time and time again. But like, what are your thoughts on this? What do you think about like saying it's fake or it's not real? Or do you think there should be an investigation? Tell me your thoughts on this Ilhan Omar stuff.
I think it's an example of like not every single person needs to have like some hot take right off the bat. What is our evidence that it's fake, right? Your reaction time. She's like an 80 IQ Somali, bro. So I don't know. What do you mean, right? Now, as for excusing this and downplaying, I wholeheartedly agree with what you're saying. And as somebody that talks to a lot of people on the street, there are just crazy people out there that will do anything. It's like if it's a bad idea, right? It's a bad idea to impede, assault, and wrestle with officers carrying a firearm. Right? That's a bad idea. It's a bad idea to squirt random crap at an elected official as well. It's a bad, people don't think through things. They do stupid things. And there's millions of these people. I have no evidence to suggest that this is staged. It could be.
Well, the rumors that we're hearing are like that he has got really lefty children and, all these things, and that she kind of nodded. She didn't react well. Like you said, I don't have any evidence. I don't trust her. I mean, she's right now getting in trouble. Like, I think it's Benny and somebody else were breaking the story about her wine company. And when they went to look into it and they just shut everything down and took it off. And, there's also other things that like a lot of these like daycare centers and stuff were sending money to re-election campaigns and things like that. I think that she just needs to be investigated across the board. I'm hearing whispers of that. I don't know if that anything has been substantiated.
I totally agree. Also, if it was staged, I think that they probably would have they would have done something else instead of squirting a little water bottle. If it was staged,
it looked like, okay, people were saying, which I thought was really funny, and I probably shouldn't say this, but they said it looked like bacon grease and like the little syringe. Now that would have been, it would have been funny. I don't suggest anybody do that, but like pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, she's gotta go. I do think that like while I don't want anything bad to happen to her, I would love her deported. It is time's up. Like she constantly says things that she hates America. She says that she's really here to represent the Somalis. She's broken the laws to get in this country. Why? This is kind of what bothers me about this administration. I saw the thing with Bovino as like ceding them some ground. I don't understand why we can't have her deported first. Make a statement, right? Like say, no. You lied to get in this country. Everybody knows it. We've talked about it. You don't get to sit here and make laws for the people, defraud people, get rich off of being in Congress. And you're not even here. You're here for the interests of yourself and your people. You got to go. She needed to be the first person deported. The first person. Yeah. And I guess people are like, well, you can't like do that to a sitting member of Congress. The people elect her. They are our people. They're not our people. They're Somalians with Somali interests. She's got to go. I think that I think this should be investigated no matter what, either way, to see if it was fraud or not, because she has a history of fraud. I'm not jumping to the conclusion that it was. Nobody should engage in stuff like this. But I think start with this investigation. you know, or are you setting this up?
I think what pisses people off the most is how creative the left is when it comes to going after people, and how unimaginative the right is when it comes to going after people, right? Keep in mind, for January 6th, they essentially turned misdemeanor trespass into a 5-year prison sentence. With Donald Trump, his 34 felony counts, right? They turned a paperwork violation, and that was a misdemeanor, into a felony by connecting it to campaign finance law. It was all this stuff, how creative they are to go after their enemies and crush them. I think this is what drives a lot of folks on the right so mad, is the conservative politicians do not do that. Now, maybe they don't do that because a lot of conservatives are just like morally more
superior,
reasonable people, superior people. And but okay, what, you gonna take that to the grave? You know, we're in a lot of trouble where the left is willing to do just about anything to crush their opponents, and the right is not.
Right. Well, this is kind of why I wanted to get into how that kind of matters. Like, we are in trouble, but there are some signs of hope. So we were just
look at this. Look at you white pilling. What's going on here?
I know, I never white pill ever, but ever. But the foreign-born population dropped by 1.5 million in just 6 months. Now that I saw that post, like, that's my tweet actually. So see, I said, now this is a W, right? Like, this is what we want. This is what we need, and I feel like a lot of this is what self-deports too, right? Like, they're afraid of Trump and they're seeing what's going on. So a lot of people say that the messaging is bad and it's sloppy. I think it's terrorizing these people, like terrifying them and making them say, hey, I don't want to get involved in all this. I'm going to just head out now. Good. Leave. Bye. Right? Like,
so like when they're not giving the same messaging, right? You do not want like the FBI saying, or Donald Trump saying, oh my gosh, fully loaded firearm. Like, okay, maybe there's a problem with it being a P320 with misfiring issues with SIGs, but like, no, as far as carrying 2 mags, I used to carry 2 mags on me when I was carrying,
okay, but that's different. Like,
and stuff like that.
This guy has a history of being in these groups to agitate. He knew what he was doing.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that messaging is bad. The great messaging is the propaganda pro immigration enforcement videos, which are 100. A lot of people don't understand the reason for like those montages that go viral on X or Instagram with like them kicking down doors of a TDA member with guns, and there's rap music, and it's like so awesome. Good. You know, people don't understand that.
It's an ice video.
That stuff doesn't just impact and freak people out that are in the country illegally, but it also sends a message out of the country and says, do not come here, right? It's the Kamala Harris do not come, but like actually effective, you know, where it's like people in a different country are seeing these montages, these like propaganda immigration videos, and just be like, yeah, no, I don't want any part of that. So those are a lot of that messaging. 100% is effective.
Well,
100%.
Yeah, well, I'm happy with that. Like, Trump had a lot of messaging mistakes here. Do you remember when the Renee Good thing happened? Right, he was like, oh, he was. When I saw that tweet that he put out, he was like, he was nearly killed. I'm surprised he's alive. I read that and I was like, no, come on, bro. Like, can we just keep it like 100 for a minute? Like, she definitely hit him with the car, and like, who cares, honestly, right? Because
I'm willing to stretch it to defend Trump on that one. If that car had more traction and the wheels weren't spinning out on ice, could have easily murdered that officer 100%. And people can go back, they can look at the video, and the wheels are spinning out. But when it comes to intense,
that says don't even a little thing, even if you're gonna slightly tilt your wheel towards them, you might get. You know what I mean? So I like that messaging better. Like, the slightest thing, don't act this way. I want to come down with the hammer as hard as possible. I want these lefties to be terrified to go out wearing like anti-ice stuff. Instead, they're like making costumes and sleds and, you know, writing it everywhere and doing these dumb protests. Like it doesn't just annoy everyone. But no, I want the messaging to be stronger. I can see why you're sticking up for it, but I don't want any of that. Like, I want it to be, no, for the smallest infraction, you're going to be met with all of the force, all of it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, wait, hold on. Are you saying that you didn't like Trump exaggerating about that? Or are you saying...
Yes, because like I see why you're saying like he really could have been killed and it could have been... Who cares? No, for the smallest, tiniest thing. Like, I don't care if she just put her wheel towards them and didn't hit the acceleration. Like, no, if you look like you're going to even come close to hurting somebody, not you have to run them over to get in trouble. No, like if you even look like you're going to, perpetuate violence against our officers, you're going to be met with the hammer. Like that, I want that type of messaging. I don't want to look soft. I don't want it to be we're focusing on legal criminals first. No. We need to focus. We want them all gone. We voted. Everybody wanted that. It was his strongest issue in the election. Everybody wants them all gone for the most part, except for psycho people. They want them all gone. So let's show a full thing of force. You're not backing down. The Trump that I know is like a double, triple down. Why am I not seeing the double, triple down? Especially when, like I said, he's up with with the Latino vote, and you're having some success here, like with this graph that I'm showing you. So why not triple down? Why are we conceding anything to them? Why? Yeah. That's what's the biggest disappointment with this administration right now for me. And you know me, I'm like a Trump loyalist, but I don't like it. I really don't. I want 10 times this. And I'm happy. People are like, oh, you're mad that Bovino's out and Homan's in? Like, no, I love Homan. They all should be in. They all should be in. Not, like we shouldn't be like, oh, this guy, we didn't like the way he handles certain things, or we didn't like the jacket he wore, or we didn't like his messaging. Who cares? I don't care what jacket. Get everybody the same jacket. That's what you do, right? You don't give them any ground. Get everybody the jacket that they don't like that reminds them of the Nazis. Get everybody a jacket. That's how you.
I love how it was just like a basic like coat, like trench coat, and he's had it for years, and it's this whole thing. This is why there's no real argument from these leftists. They'll say anything. It doesn't. The face mask thing, right? There is a nuanced, interesting, good debate to have around that topic. Okay, there is. What? But I'm just saying in general, like whether federal agents should be using face masks and all that stuff, right? It makes it so they're not identifiable and stuff. I'm not arguing for it. I'm just saying you can have that debate. That's my only point there. Mm-hmm. Now, the left is not making that argument. They're pretending to make that argument. They don't give a crap about the face masks. They want open borders. They want ICE abolished, and they use little arguments that they think they can manipulate people with to get to their end goal. They don't actually care about these arguments. If to your point, if the right actually conceded and they were like, you know what, you're right, we'll do away with the face mask. You think that's going to solve any of this? You think they're going to be less crazy? You think they're going to calm down and say, wow, Republicans, thank you so much for working with us on the face mask. You think they're going to be like, it's going to work at all? No, they're going to use that. They're going to say my violent temper tantrum worked, and I'm going to ramp it up, and I'm going to keep doing it over and over again. They're going to keep ramping it up. Then they're going to go after their ICE agents' families. They're going to go after their children. They're going to go after them. It's going to be 10 million times worse because we gave them an inch, right? And they do the same thing every single time. They try to look for any time. Right now, they've been trying to play a game with the warrants and getting all lost in the weeds, right? Because they have to go through everything with a fine tooth comb. Unless it's importing, then you can import violent gang members that'll, assault and murder young girls after a few weeks of being in the country. They don't care. They don't protest. They don't ask any questions, right? It's no fine-tooth comb importing the worst people on the planet. And then when it comes to getting them out, no. We need to make this as complex as possible. We need to take, months to deport people. This is every single argument that they have around this topic is so wildly dishonest. If they are opening their mouth talking about this issue, they are lying. And this is coming from somebody that talks to these people every single week. It has blown me away watching over the years how dishonest they have been about immigration. But even I think it was you that was saying it, like when you asked them, okay, well, how, but other people too, but they were like, how would you do it? They were like, well, I don't know. I mean, you do want the criminals out, right? And they say, yes, of course, get the criminals out, but that's not what they're doing. Okay, how would you do it? They never have an answer. You want to abolish ICE and give it to some other agency? You wouldn't like that agency either. And the problem, like I was saying, the problem is like these numbers were good for us, but I feel like Trump is a lot signaling for the midterms, right? Like, oh, we've got the midterms coming up and we've got to soften our language and we don't want to lose the midterms. But then after the midterms, then it's the general election, right? And so this cycle keeps repeating. We keep softening our language to appease the left. We're still playing by their game. And if it's not the midterms, then it's the general election. And really,
they manipulate the ballots. They do all kinds of things. They use their news propaganda to feed everything. Like they cheat as much as possible. So does it even matter? And we always have these like we think it's going to be a red wave and it's like a blue wall or whatever. And I really think that you're turning off your base. You are never going to win any of these people over. Most moderate suburban moms are just going to vote how their friend group votes because they have that hive mind mentality, and that's who you're targeting. So why do it at all? Why not just double down and go with your plan with getting rid of these people? It's very frustrating. But there is more. Like,
last note on that. When it comes down to it, though, ultimately, this year they need to focus heavily on highlighting successes and focus on trying to get the economy moving and people feeling comfortable as much as possible. That's going to make a big difference. People really, they care about immigration, but ultimately, it's just the same basic thing almost every single election. How comfortable are people? Do they feel like they have a lot of money in their pocket? Right.
And we don't.
Bottom line.
Like, I'll even say, I know that Trump's economy is on the upswing, which it is, but like, I definitely still feel the difference. Like when I go to the grocery store, my bills are way higher than they were 3 years ago. And that's not changing because once those prices go up, there's no incentive for the, real incentive because everybody's have gone up across the board for the manufacturers to bring it down. Right. So, those numbers are going to stay there. He needs to highlight exactly what's going on with the country. Now, I think that he just introduced, and I don't have it up. I was going to talk about it, but it was in the big, beautiful bill, the new tax credit thing where you can like invest in your children and it multiplies by a lot. Everybody's been bragging about it a lot. I had it on my sheet. I don't know where it is, but
the $1,000, I think.
Yeah. Where is it? Hold on. I had it on the sheet. You know how my sheet, do you, Serge? Look at me talking to Serge. Hi, guys. See, you can tell I'm new at this. Well, we can go into this first. There is hope with the population estimates and those numbers going down. This is why I don't really care that much about like the midterms or the general. And a lot of people say like, oh, well, if we do that, we're just going to get, Biden 2.0 and they're going to surge the border again. And all these people are just going to come back or whatever their excuses are. But I love Ryan Gerdusky so much. But he put this out the other day.
He's great.
He's the best. But this is the 2030 congressional vote like for the I can't speak today. The Electoral College map, right? And we are gonna absolutely get rid of the blue wall because of these deportations and the population changes. And so 2030, we're looking at, a loss of 1 in Pennsylvania, a loss of 1 in New York, a loss of 4 in California, +4 in Texas, +2.
No, this isn't good. We need to take away all from Minnesota because they're misbehaving.
Yeah,
actually.
true.
But other than that, this is good.
Yeah, but my point is, okay, so if we keep doing the agenda, if we keep getting these people out of here, people that don't belong, right, not counting them in the census, then it doesn't, like the midterms and the general coming up, to me, doesn't mean as much as long as because this is the results of decreasing this immigrant population. This is what we need to vote for, because after that, then it doesn't matter what it's not about New York and California anymore. It's about what the rest of the country really wants. And we want to put Americans first. So I think this is where everybody should focus, their energy is like, Trump, double down, forget about your legacy or forget about the midterms and signaling to these suburban moms. No, like, get these people out and get these numbers right. Get these electoral college votes right. That's what I think that we need to do.
Yeah, 100%. And this is another white pill. Look at this. Look at us. Who would have thought? Not me, huh? We are white pilling in this episode
because I don't see anybody like changing the strategy the way I'd like. but
okay, all right. Let's hold on to this white pill for a quick moment because I often tell people on the street there are no positives to illegal immigration unless like you love exploiting cheap illegal labor. If you like to put the American people first, there's literally, or just people around the world. Right. There's no positives to illegal immigration. Now, one of the immediate reasons why, and most people know this, but I think a lot of people don't understand it. Maybe they do. Obviously, the census, right? It dictates how many
congressional seats you get,
how many congressional seats a state has in the House of Representatives. Okay, this is the American people's direct voice in government. That's what the House is, right? This is their direct voice in the government. And you have tens of millions. Yeah, right. You have tens of millions of illegals in these districts. And so Democrats, they have full on extra districts. That's what we're seeing here. They have extra districts that they are getting, extra seats that they are getting in the House of Representatives because of illegal immigrants. It's not even like the goal is to mass import, push for mass amnesty, get them to vote. Yes, that's one strategy. That's a longer term. More immediate is, oh, dude, we can bring in 10 million people and you have 10 million extra people. The overwhelming majority, right? Don't get it twisted. These people are not in red areas where they are not getting benefits. They are not getting protection. No. The overwhelming majority go to cities where they get free benefits. They get taxpayer funded benefits. They get protection from the local community. They get all this stuff. They go all the way to those places, and then they boost how many seats they get in Congress. So they're cheating, and that's the entire purpose, is to affect the electoral map. What Trump is doing already in 1 year, they're already losing seats. This is excellent. We need to keep it going.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I do. A lot of people, I hear a lot of people make the argument like, but they're good for the economy. Actually, they're a net negative on the economy. They do bring in tax revenue. Don't act like they don't. But I think the number, if I'm not mistaken, is $228 billion is what they cost taxpayers after. And that's not before. That is after what they would contribute in tax revenue. I mean, they're literally draining the system. They're hurting think about it. We have whole school districts coming in. They were like whole school districts coming in at a time per day over the border. That costs money for teachers. It's taking educational opportunities away from your children. They're bleeding. If you ever go to the ER, it's filled with illegal immigrants, at least in the cities, and they're just draining our resources at every turn, and we need to cut the bleeding. And Trump's doing an excellent job. Don't get me wrong. I think that I think that if Obama can increase deportation, like it can do better in deportations. I mean, he was the deporter in chief, right? If he can do better, we can ramp it up a little bit. I think we need to. I get it that he's
quick note on that.
Huh? Yeah,
quick note on that. Obama had such high deportation numbers because they were including returns as deportations. So returns meaning like at the border, expedited removal versus internal removal. Internal removal is the difficult thing. That's the more dramatic thing.
Are we beating him then?
Yeah.
We're beating him there then.
Yeah, by far.
100, not even close. Yeah, 100%, 100%, absolutely.
Look at me.
That's the expensive. That's the time-consuming thing. That is the difficult thing to do. Trump has virtually no, literally virtually no returns at the border because nobody is showing up trying to get in.
Yeah, I see people also criticizing the performative nature of it, and not going hard enough. I kind of like the performance. I want it to look miserable. I want it to look miserable to deter them from coming here and from getting them to self-deport quicker. I want it to. When I hear people saying oh, it doesn't have to look like this, yeah, it does. Make it look as brutal as possible so that they're 100% deterred. It is a deterrent. I mean, they're like, oh, my neighbors are afraid to go outside. Good. Go home. You won't be afraid anymore. Right? People were upset. The Republican, the left wing was upset when we did what we did in Venezuela. But isn't that the whole thing? They were fleeing their oppressive government. And that's what you wanted Kamala Harris to do, right? You wanted her to go down to, where these people were heavily coming from and solve that problem domestically. Well, now they don't have a dictator that's ruining their lives down there and they can go home. And a lot of people said, I do want to go home. So let's continue encouraging people to leave, whether it's positively, helping clean up some of that stuff that's going on down there, or scaring the crap out of them. I prefer scaring the crap out of them. I think it's a more effective deterrent. So let's keep it up, ramp it up. I want more videos, more propaganda reels. There's a reason why nobody is showing up at the southern border.
There's a reason why people are self-deporting. It's because of those videos that you're talking about. Now, they could be done tastefully and all that. So you got to be smart. You still got to be smart when you're playing this game.
I don't think you do, because like I said before, we're not playing to these suburban moms. We're playing to these numbers that you're looking at, that we were looking at on the screen. Get them gone, scare them to death, and then we don't have to worry about the suburban moms anymore. We don't have to worry about these crazy liberal women that are, trying to fill some void in their life that they don't get because they've been filled with, godlessness and feminist propaganda.
Yeah, I just more of mean the messaging. Like it still has to be. I don't think that messaging that you're talking about is dumb messaging. I'm just saying the messaging has to be smart, has to be strategic. Those montages that you're talking about, I would put in the category of being smart, strategic, because they're obviously working. Right. Yeah. There's you cannot argue that at all. There's over 95% reduction in human trafficking down at the southern border. There is literally, and that happened on week 1, by the way. Week 1 this started. So it's obviously working. Crazy, absolutely crazy. But like I said, I'm happy. A couple of years ago when I was doing Comms on the Hill, I would have softened my messaging. And now I'm not like that anymore at all. Now I'm like, no. I mean, I was pretty hardcore then. I would get in fights with my chief of staff because I'm like, you're not going hard enough, especially around J6 and stuff. But now I want even get as many out as possible. Let's get these electoral college votes up. Let's have it too big to rig. Like, we get all the numbers. I mean, they do it. They cheat. I don't want to play fair anymore. Like, I'm throwing that out the window. They don't play fair, and I'm tired of getting beat because I'm playing by the rules. So we're not doing it anymore. That's what's so crazy about what's going on in Indiana, where you're just like, grow a freaking pair. You literally have no clue what time it is. You have no clue what's going on. And it doesn't mean like, I mean, it's the craziest thing. The left can act as cruel as possible, give maximum sentences to people protesting outside of abortion clinics, 11 years for like a grandmother. Just this insane rhetoric. It's so much worse than that. Just one example too, right? It's so insane on every single level. And the right's like, oh, well, I don't want to be too mean. And oh, we should really work together. What are you talking? Work together on what? What is even going on here? We're past the point of talking. They don't listen. We're not working. You can't trust them like Trump's talking with Tim Walz, right? You can't do that. They are literally subverting your government. They have people that are officials undermining everything that you're doing, and you're going to look them in the face and think they're going to actually do the right thing. No. They're sneaky Fs, and they're going to go and really they're going to do everything wrong. They're not going to play by the rules. I don't know why we don't know this. I don't even want the appearance of working with them. I want to cut them off. I think that they should have went in there and pulled them out by the hair and arrested them. Tim Walz. That's what I think should happen. Anyway, we got to wrap. Oh yeah, they're 100. There's a reason why there's a reason why all this chaos is happening in Minneapolis. Deportations are happening all over the country. People say this all the time. Happening all over the country without incident, right? Yeah. They want the chaos. These people are the reason why people are getting hurt in the street. They're the reason why some retarded lady is picking up a flashbang, at a protest. Like, what's going on? What are we doing? Don't pick up flashbangs. All these people should be complete. Hey, go protest. That's a beautiful thing. You're not protesting. You're trying to actually physically assault, impede federal operations. It's insane. Oh, well, thank you for coming and talking about all this with me today. I may bring him back tomorrow because I'm doing it tomorrow again. And James, my homie, and I need him. You know what I mean? I don't know if I could have did this. I mean, I could talk a lot, but doing this for an hour by yourself, whoa. But anyway, I think we're going to raid somebody. Are we raiding anybody, Serge? Devoid Darkins. There we go. We're rating. Guys, thank you so much for actually paying attention and listening to what we had to say. And hopefully we'll see you guys again tomorrow. I'll be back same time, 12 o'clock. And I think we're good to go. Right, Serge? All right, guys. Have a good one.